Greetings, humanoids of the internet. My name is Bob, and this is episode... Oh, I had it right. Okay. I looked up the episode number and just promptly forgot about it. Episode 57 of Journey into Space. Yeah, laugh it up there, smiling boy. Okay. A Journey into Space. Yeah, okay. We're going to wrap up our VTOL episode for right now. We're going to do part 2 of our VTOL episode. It should be an entertaining episode of nothing else. It may be a slightly short episode because I only have a few things here to show you. First thing up is my current state of the art in helicopter technology. The good news is it will fly. It is the passenger section is able sort of more or less to stay still while the rotors turn. After that, things kind of fall apart. But this is my current state of the art for helicopter technology. Anyway, as you shall see. And you can see I've got a large number of these rotor things. That's all of my rotor tests. And so as you can see, I've been working on it a little bit. And still don't really have a completely functional vehicle. It's more functional than it was before. I'll say that for it. Okay. Action groups. Okay, custom 1. Okay, that's the tail rotor thing. That's what keeps this whole thing on an even keel. Okay. Custom 2. Custom 2 is to put the back end down, and custom 3 is to put the back end up, and custom 4 is to move forward. Okay. I got to refresh my memory on all this. Custom 1, that I don't really have to worry about that because that's going to turn on automatically when I separate the decoupler in there. Just have to worry about what the... Okay, custom 2 is actually to tilt the back end downwards. Custom 3 is to tilt the back end upwards. So I'll be mostly doing custom 3 pretty much. Okay. Okay, here's my current state of the art for rotor bearings. It works. It works. There's still some major control issues, but you know the rotor works. You know, it takes the thing off the ground. You know, so without any further ado, let's go ahead and launch this cluster frac and see how we do. I have been noticing a lot of glitches. It's possibly relating to copying things back and forth from the vehicle assembly building to the space split hangar. So there's been a number of glitches. Hopefully this has not become glitchy. All right, throttle about halfway up there. RCS on. Am I missing anything? Nope. 3, 2, 1. Oh, let's turn the SAS on. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, now I've decoupled that thing. I need to turn the thrust down because the tail rotor is moving too much. Okay, one more. One more. Okay, 3. Trying to tilt it down. Let's turn the SAS off. Throttle down a little bit. And this is about the time when things typically tend to start going to hell. As you can see my debris all over everywhere. There's no Kerbal in here, so don't be alarmed. He will not die. There will be no dead Kerbals. It's all robotic. Yeah. So again, this is just sort of how far I've gotten with the whole helicopter thing. And as you can see, there's a little bits of debris from previous launches. There's a rotor 52, rotor 53, 53, 52, and so on. I'm going to do a restart just to so that it won't leave that debris there. Okay, that was entertaining, wasn't it? All right, in flight, in flight. Space Center. Okay. Now I took leave of my rotor research, which has sort of been fruitless thus far, and went back to a sort of more conventional VTOL. Let's load up the Green Goblin. You see, there's a number of Green Goblins, but the Green Goblin is working pretty well. I would say I like it better than the Glovercraft, but that's not because it's any safer. The Green Goblin is more maneuverable than the Glovercraft. It doesn't have the same suddenly raising and lowering altitude type problems that the Glovercraft had. The Glovercraft I showed you in the last episode. But it'll run away from you quick. You can lose control of it quick. So okay, so here's the Green Goblin. It's got one vectoring engine down here and two jet engines. As far as the popping up in altitude and stuff, it's much better than the Glovercraft, and it's a bit more maneuverable, but still has lots of problems. Has a very robust abort system though, and since we will be having probably Bob Kerman flying this, that's a good thing. So let me take a look at my action groups right quick, sort of refresh my mind on what I've got. Okay. That's sort of my emergency thrust system. These little radial engines here, that's if I'm losing altitude fast and realize shit's going south and I want to try to recover it, that's what I use there. This is the only action group I've got. Okay. So if I start losing altitude rather fast, or if I want to descend and then want a little braking rate toward the end so I don't break my legs off, that's what I use. Also, if I land hard, this thing tends to break off. So, all right, let's launch it. And these VTOL craft are very technical to fly, and I haven't flown this one in a bit, so the first time I fly it, I may crash it. So there's that. And again, our goal is to try to land on the ramp of the launch tower. And we're going to wait a little bit to let the jet engines spool up. It takes a while for them to reach full thrust. And this does depend on jet fuel, rocket fuel to a certain extent, so pretty limited range. Alright, how far are we going? Alright, we'll crank up the throttle a little bit. I don't want to crank the throttle up. Crank the throttle up too much because the jet engines take a while to spool up. Okay, we'll crank it up a little more. Okay. What I noticed is that if you use the yaw controls, it tends to screw up the, it tends to affect the roll and vice versa. So you have to very often you have to go get into a roll first before you intend to yaw. Okay, and we're going south here. We're going south. Abort. Alright, well, let's try that again. Yeah, like I say, it's not a safer craft than the Glover craft. That's the mainly jet-powered VTOL I featured in the first episode. So it's not really safer than that. It is a bit more maneuverable, but that's also, it has a tendency to go out of control. And we'll let the jet engine spool up a little bit. Okay. That's good. Or it might be good. Okay, using the supplementary engines to give it a little kick there. Whoa, 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 whoa. Gotta be real easy with this buster. Really easy. Yeah, the main drawback is you have to really almost oh, well, you almost have to pre-plan your yaw maneuvers by doing a roll first. Okay, not so good. This particular craft requires some finesse. I seem to be having better luck with it previously than I am now. All right, one more time. Okay, let the jet engine spool up. I think I will rely more on the supplementary thrusters. I just basically just use the main thrusters, main engines to neutralize the weight, and then sort of use the supplementary thrusters to. Okay. Well, a little bit of locking up there. Yeah, see, if you yaw, it rolls you. We'll just up the throttle just a bit. Might be better off just to use the roll controls and forget about the yaw controls. Okay, come on. Okay, we're gonna kick the, come on. Gonna kick the throttle down a notch. And again, this has no wings or anything, so it's not like it's ever going to use any kind of aerodynamic. And it can't use the air to assist it per se. So it's it can be a little bit. It's only using the vectoring to move around, and it's kind of moving around like a manatee at this point. Okay, come on, you manatee. Okay. Oh, well, we will see if we can make a loop here. Head back towards the, yeah. No bueno. Okay, well that was that one. Seemed like it worked better in the past. Maybe this particular version number of the Green Goblin is not the one that actually works the best. And fight. Okay. Now let's see. Okay, here's the Glovercraft I was referring to. I'll just load it up so you can see. This is the one that I had on the previous episode, but and it it does okay, except for the fact that it bops up and down real big, so it's not so good in that respect. Load. Which one am I looking for here? I forgot what it's called, so I have no idea. Here's all the rotors. Yeah, 002, 006, 012. Then I switched to just plain numbers: 20, 24, 25, 43, 50. Okay. Well, okay, Tubulon. Tubulon is the craft. Okay, this is not quite as retarded as it may seem, although it's almost as that retarded. One thing I noticed last time is I didn't have a whole lot of fuel, so I'm going to, whoops, I'm going to add a little fuel here, because it does depend quite a lot on liquid fuels, and those run out. So go ahead and give this a new version number. Tubulon 4. Save. Okay. Now the idea here, and I probably didn't implement it that well because I got 4 of these jet engines, which mostly should only be operating at low thrust. So I probably need to rethink that. But the idea here is I just use the jet engines to sort of neutralize the weight of the vehicle, and then I use all these other engines to actually move around. Let's look at my action groups. Okay, custom 1. Okay, that's to go forward. Custom 1 is to go forward. Custom 2, assume, is to go backwards. Yep. Actually, the backwards thing is actually pretty useful. Custom 3. I don't have this one hooked up. Apparently it dropped, it may have dropped one or more of the engines from my toggled engine. Whenever you're about to launch a craft, it's a good idea to check and make sure that the stuff that you put in your action groups are still there, because very often it will just totally blow off remembering that you put that on that action group. So, okay. Excuse me. Those may have been engines I just added, so maybe why they're excuse me. Maybe why they weren't in that action group. Okay, so custom 3 is to is sort of lift. So 3 is vertical, 2 is braking, and 1 is forward. Strangely enough, I don't use 1 very much. Let's go ahead and give this a new version number. Okay, Tubulon 5. Save. And see, on the first stage, the jet engines are the only ones that are turned on. These stay off until I turn them on with the action groups. So, and my sinuses are going nuts. But nothing new there. Okay, save and launch. Okay, and the idea here is to only have enough jet thrust to sort of basically neutralize the weight of the vehicle, and do everything else with the rockets. That's why it's somewhat intensive on rocket fuel. Now we got to wait till the jets spool up. If I had to do this to do over again, I would not have this many jet engines, because they operate at very low, relatively low thrust levels. So, okay, how are we doing as far as? Well, probably could do with a little bit more jet thrust. Okay. Now let's try it. It's sort of a hover car in certain respects. Well. Alright, well, let's stop moving forward. Yeah, it's sort of almost kind of hovering here. Alright, we'll do just bare touch more. Okay. Now let's take that away. Okay. Yeah, that was kind of a bad idea. Okay. Alright, we'll kill the climbing rockets here for a second. Okay, I'm going to tilt my nose down, kind of swivel over a little bit. I'm going to use the braking rockets. Okay, well, I'm still not losing altitude, so I'm going to kick it down a notch. Okay. I've kind of passed up the tower, so we need to get moving back in that direction. If we can do so without losing control, which is not a foregone conclusion. Alright, altitude. Okay. Poor Bob. God. Dude, I'm so sorry. Flight. Flight. Let's restart that one. And it's locking up. It does that. It's been doing that with my vertical vehicles quite a lot. Okay, let's do a restart. And again, it's kind of freaking out. Yep, it's freaking out. Come on, give me a restart. Any day now. Okay, my KSP crashed. I have been noticing that a lot with 18.4, and other people have it even worse than me. So I hope they stabilize that some. Let's see. This was the Tubulon 5. Bob Crumman commanding Tubulon 5. Alright, we're going to give the Tubulon 5 another go. Now, if you wanted to make a exclusively rocket VTOL, that is in a lot of ways a bit easier because you don't have to worry about the jet engines at all. Unfortunately, rockets are not very efficient, so you're kind of stuck with a short range on those. And let's launch. Of course, with this one, it's mostly rockets anyway, so it doesn't matter that much. The Tubulon 5, Bob Crumman commanding. Okay. And we have to wait forever for the jet engines to spool up. Okay, let's try the vertical engines here right quick. See if they'll give us a lift off. Okay. You could try to do an airplane style takeoff here on this one. Whoa, oopsies. Okay. This time I'm going to try to stay as much as possible on an even keel and use my forward and backwards engines to move me, and not try to do the same kind of maneuvers that I did previously, which did not result in positive consequences. Again, our goal is to try to land on the ramp and kill the throttle a little bit. I'm still climbing an altitude. Let's kill that for a minute. Let's turn on the break-in rockets. You can only turn them on so much because it'll pick the nose up. Okay, let's kind of yaw towards our target here. Unlike the other one, it doesn't seem to be having any kind of roll problem as far as yaw causing roll and vice versa. Alright, kill the throttle a little more. I killed it too much. Uh-oh, out of control. Abort. Alrighty then. Oh, that was lovely. Bob's happy. He's like, you just let it roll off his back. It's like, okay, well, he had an abort. No big deal. Okay. Okay. Well, even though that's a lot, this is a lot shorter than my typical episode. I actually have another video coming out fairly shortly, which will be another sort of a rocket design tutorial. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up, and perhaps we will revisit the topic of VTOLs again sometime later. All this debris, good God. Let me do a restart because I'm gonna have debris all over creation here. Come on, don't crash again, please. God damn it. It's crashed again. Okay, my KSP crashed yet again, but that's all. In any case, that's all we have time for this episode. And until next time, hasta la vista. Adios.